What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're going to get into the Battybean X Shroud Hallobean palette. So this is what the little card that came with it says. Hello friends. Of course y'all know she starts off all her videos with hello friends. It says, hello friends, did you miss us? We are so thrilled to bring you our second spooky collaboration with Battybean. Betty Jean's vision for this palette was Halloween but make it grunge, and we think we nailed it. The Hallobean palette is sure to charm your spooky soul with 5 buttery mattes, 3 magical multi-chrome, and 1 delicious duochrome. We carefully curated this palette to pair perfectly with our first Battybean X Shroud collab, so you can mix and match to your heart's content. Happy haunting, love the Shroud team. Shroud Cosmetics X Battybean. So if you haven't seen, this is the original palette. I know I didn't do a review on it. Mine is so old it says Battybean from when she was Battybean, but let's go ahead and show them side by side. So this is the original and this is the new one. That's what both of them look like side by side. I don't necessarily see how this was a pair well together, but I mean, I guess I wouldn't pair these colors together, but that's just a personal opinion type thing. And Battybean is way more creative than I am, so that's probably why she could pair both of these together. I don't think I necessarily could. I see a couple of colors that I could do, but it's like the palette as a whole I couldn't personally do. But you know, y'all know I have my certain color stories and color groupings I just like to stick to, so that's probably why, like I said, I couldn't. She's way more creative, so she'd have way more fun ideas to come up with. Okay, so I don't have that many palettes to show with this palette. If I find any more in my collection when I get home, then I'll do what I always do, the palette comparisons on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram. But here's what this one looks like. This is the Kind of Art Nouveau palette up against the Battybean palette. I thought they were somewhat similar, so I figured I'd go ahead and show them. Obviously this one doesn't have any dual chromes or multi-chromes in it, but this is what they look like side by side. I feel like this could be a good companion palette to this palette though, because of the other bright colors that are in here that could go with the more grungy mattes in this palette. And then I have the Nightmare Before Christmas palette from ColourPop to show against this one. I know they're not exact, but again, I felt like since it was Halloween spirit, I could show them side by side. So here it is. Like I said, they're not exact. My long shot, I just figured I'd show it because I'm here, they're here, we're both here. I was thinking about showing y'all the first palette from what do you call it? The Halloween collection from what is it? Hocus Pocus. But I don't think it's close enough to this. The greens in it are darker, and let me just go ahead and show it. It wasn't that far away, so I was like, let me go grab it real quick. Just across the way there. Now, do remember I recreated mine, so just keep that part in mind. I should have brought both of them over here. Dang it, now I gotta get up again. But here's what the first one looks like. As you can see, mine has been recreated somewhat because they had pressed glitters in it. I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh, and just like a whole clown, just FYI, I bought the Hocus Pocus 2 palette. It was pretty. I bought it. Don't judge me. Let me grab the last palette. So then I have the Witching Hour. I'm thinking about getting rid of this one after I do the video on the new one to show all 3 of them, just because I'm like, I don't need the second one now, because I have the official second one for the second movie, not just another recreating one for that. And this is what it looks like. So after I film the video, I am going to declutter this one. I know, right? Who am I, decluttering palettes and stuff, y'all? But hey, holiday palettes are coming up, plus some people are actually doing Halloween collections. More and more Halloween collections are coming out, so I want to make space. So this one will be going after that video. Okay, so this palette retail for, I want to say $45. Don't quote me, I don't remember. I have to check my email. But I'm going to zoom you on in real quick and cute like. If you're curious what's on my lips, this is, I think it's Power Suit from, what's her name, Vive. And then I just put the Dose of Colors macchiato gloss on top to get this lip. But I'm gonna go off camera and do an eye look real quick, and then I will return. Okay, girl. Okay, y'all. So this is the eye look I came up with. I literally just went down this row right here, and then I just put the green in there just for the heck of it, and then I use the shade Black Flame to make the eye look that we have here. So let's get started. I already put my eyeshadow primer on the same time. So I started with the shade Losers Club. It's supposed to be like an orangey, I guess pumpkin-esque type shade. And I kind of did like a halo eye thing. At least I tried to. I don't think I did it that well, but you know, I don't do halo eyes that often, so probably why it doesn't look as good as it could. But you know, practice makes perfect, so I just have to do them more often. But they're not like an eye shadow look I'm crazy about, which is why I don't do them that often. So that's what it looks like there. It's just a simple like pumpkin shade that is somewhat close to my skin tone and a more warm effect, if you will. Now we're gonna go in with the shade Ghastly. It's that purplish, dark eggplant, blackish type shade. And I'm gonna put on the outer and inner, of course, since we're doing a halo eye. I'm trying to shape it in the shape I normally do. That one in the front, we're going just put it in there a little bit. Only thing is when I put the glitter glue down, I tried to blend back over after I had put the shimmer shade on. It was hard to get any of this Ghastly shade back on there, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I tried to like make a little less shimmer and it did not work at all. So like once you put the shimmer down, that's just it. Okay, next we're going to put It's Showtime on. So I literally just dusted that in between this one and that one to get what we got going on there. The other side, I just am going to stop and blend it ever so nicely in between both of these. I know other people usually do it a different way, but I didn't plan on using the green, but then I was like, why not use the green? So that's how I ended up doing it the way I'm doing it now, with the green just randomly added on in the middle here. I know some people are like, why didn't you do it after you did the orange? Because I didn't originally plan on using the green, so that's why I was going to do a separate look with like the sparkly green, this dark shade, and the yellow another day. But you know, we can use the green twice, it's fine. You know I love a good cream moment, so it's fine with me. Okay, now I'm going to take my cleaning brush, which is a Refer 15, it just dusts over everything. But we put this glitter glue on, girl. I'm trying to decide if I want to put black in the waterline or not. I think I'll go ahead and do that because I only have one more eye look to do. And then I got a whole bunch of just like random content videos to do where I don't have to do eyeshadow looks, which I'm kind of excited because, I don't know, lately I haven't felt inspired. I feel like I talked to you all about this before, and I don't know, I was feeling a little burnt out for a little while as far as makeup way, but I'm liking the new launches that I'm seeing. It doesn't make me feel any less like burnt out, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna go about like doing all these eye looks, and I feel like I don't really care as much. It feels weird saying that out loud, but like lately, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, yeah, I just don't, you know. I don't know if it's because the launches were slow for a little while, and I was just kind of like, whatever, but I haven't been really feeling it lately. Now let's take the shade Black Flame. I mean, when I play with this stuff, I still get excited, but it's just like I haven't been feeling inspired to make eye looks, basically is what I mean when I say inspired. Not about makeup, about, you know, the eye looks I make with the makeup. If that made any sort of sense. So there we go. Now let's see if I can blend the sides again, because like I told y'all last time, when I tried to blend the sides after I put the glitter glue on last time, it didn't want to let me. So I don't know what's going on with that. I just wanted to make it a little, you know, neater on the end, if you will. But see what I'm saying? Like the glitter is spreading instead of just taking the darker pigment that I put on and add it. It's spreading out the glitter when I try to blend it in. So I guess you got to be more precise with this, because I just blended in and it added more of this, going further out this way instead of just adding the darker pigment that I added. So I'm not liking that whole part of it. Anyway, let's get into the shade Wordsboro. That's the orange that I have in the inner corner. And then we'll zoom out and talk about my thoughts. I was thinking about giving y'all a little second look with the original palette when I got done with this one. Or like a palette mashup of this one and the original one. So I'm thinking I'll go ahead and do that. And then for those who want to see the second look, you can. And for those who just want to see the first one, you can tap out at this point. So I'm going to talk about the first one. And then I'm going to give y'all a look with the second one. So let's get into this one. So I like the color story okay. I feel like there's quite a bit of orange, but I mean, like, I know pumpkins are orange and I know Betty Jean likes orange. I'm not a huge fan of orange, so I don't necessarily like the fact that I feel like there are like 3 oranges. I know this one shifts into something else, but like the fact there are 2 oranges. I understand she needed a more neutrally shade in addition to this one, which I'm assuming is why she chose that, because she's not really big into neutral shades like I'm not either. So at least orange isn't neutral, at least in my personal opinion. So I'll give her that. I like the fact that she put duochromes in here this time. The only thing is I feel like this isn't showing up as purple as I was hoping. It might be due to my skin tone, but it's not giving like a super amount of purple to me. It's just giving more black with like a hint of purple, kind of like the aubergine shade from Mother's Bronze Temptation palette, the Big Mothership 5. That's the color it's kind of giving, and I was hoping it would give more of like the deep eggplantish like purple, and I could see more purple. So that's the only thing I'm really concerned about. I haven't tried this shade yet, so I can't speak on it, but yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. I'm kind of curious if this shade is similar to that other sparkly shade in the original palette. So let me see if I can swatch that real quick. Okay, no, so it's not similar to any of the shades in here. It looked like it belonged in this palette though instead of the one it's in my personal opinion, but again, that's just a me thing. So I like the palette just fine. It's just as good a quality as the first one. Spoiler alert for those of you who don't watch the second look, but I think it's a nice palette. If you like these sort of tones, you might want to go ahead and grab it. If you're a Betty Jean fan, you might want to go ahead and grab it. She said you can use her code, so you can use the code Battybean to get a discount on this, but they didn't have a bundle of this and the original palette, so you had to buy those separately. They had a bundle of this and the pens. I didn't get the pens this go around just because I was like, I lost the last pen, so I need to find those first, because what I do is I stick them on my denim jacket in the front, and I just have all the Betty Jean pens, the Betty Jean pens on my denim jacket, and I think it looks cool. But I'll probably get the pens during the holidays or something, and I might have to buy an original set of the first pens, because I can only find the balloon and the what is it, the SS Bean or Battybean pen. So anyway, now we're gonna move on to an eye look with the first one. If you're interested, you can stay tuned. If not, you can head out, and thank you for watching. Let me swatch this Ghastly shade up against Dury, because I kind of wanted it to be more like Dury, because I feel like you see the purple in Dury a little more than you do with this one. Okay, so this is Ghastly right here, and this is Dury from the first palette, just in case anyone was curious about the differences between those shades, because I know I was curious. I was like, what's going to be the difference? I feel like, wait, the first one didn't slash, the second one didn't swatch it well. Ghastly, let me re-swatch that. Okay, so there's a better swatch. So here's Ghastly and here's Dury. That's what they look like side by side. So I feel like they would go together pretty well, but I'm gonna try to focus more on the greens in the palette, since we already did a look with the more purpley type shades. So I might do a palette mashup just so I can use this shade in the inner corner and this green and a look on its own. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just go ahead and do a palette mashup so that way you can see another look with this one, and I can do a palette mashup because I want to do one and see how the colors are gonna work side by side, since they say you can use this palette together. So I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order, but I gotta take my look at me, I think I'm sexy pictures first. So I'm gonna do that first, then I'll come back with another look. Okay, girl? Be right back. Okay, so here's the combined eye look of It's Freaking Bats and Hallobean. Also, here are swatches of some of the shades. So this one is Handbook, this one is Ghoul from the new palette, and then this one is Sam from the It's Freaking Bats. So these two are It's Freaking Bats, and this one is the new palette. So this is what I have in my inner corner, this is what I have on the front of my lid, and this one I just wanted to swatch to compare to these two. So it's weird though, because when you see Ghoulish in the inner corner, in my personal opinion, it looks really similar to Handbook. It has a little bit more of a minty tone to it, but I feel like they look pretty similar in tone. I don't know if it's because of my skin tone they look closer in tone, because I feel like on Betty Jean, when she did a combined look, they didn't look similar in tone, but I don't think her combined look was the same as mine. But swatching them on my hand, they look really similar, which was interesting to me, since, you know, she said there were no repeat shades, but I'm thinking it's just my skin tone that's making them look similar than what they actually are. So just keep that in mind when watching me make this eye look. And I'm taking the Glam Light Icing color in the shade White. Because when I do colorful shadows, I always use the shade White. So I started off with the green shade just like I did the last time. Well, no, I didn't start off with the last time. We're taking the shade from Hallobean called It's Showtime from, of course, Beetlejuice reference. And I literally just put that on my brow bone. And then I combined the shades Trapper from the It's Freaking Bats palette that I'm holding in my hand, and what is this? Cripe from the Hallobean palette. So I combined those two shades just because I thought they'd be grungy and eerie and kind of cool looking. I need to hurry and get myself home before 5 o'clock because I want to buy my palette from Glaminatrix, the Glamorous palette, and then I still need to go get gas and other stuff. So I might save these other two videos I was going to film for another day and just do my Battle of Love, because I have Battle of Love with the Danessa Myricks up against the All I Ever Wanted Volume 2 palette, because I feel like a lot of the shades in it are similar. So I was like, we're going to go ahead and do a battle because I'm me and I got to battle everything. So let's get into these two shades I combine now. So I started with Cripe. I'm just kind of blended that everywhere. Just to start off with this nice fluffy BK Beauty brush. This is a 202. I like to do this when I'm just trying to put a shade down and get an idea of what I want to do and kind of like blow it out into the crease and the brow bone area, because I feel like it does a really good job of that. Or just, you know, to dust all over when I as a clean brush. That's usually what I use this brush for. So now I'm going to take the shade Trapper and put it on top of here. And then the last time I go over this, I just combine both the shades and then blend them. Yeah, so that was me combining both of them. Now I'm just blending it. And see how cool that color looks? I just feel like it looks so cool. Of course, the battery wants to die now. So rude. So I took the shade Wicked next and put that in the crease before we got into the shimmers I put on the lid, which all the shimmers are from the original palette, because I wanted to let you see those shimmers versus, you know, the other ones. And the blue on the outer V is from the original palette. I'll be right back. I gotta get the battery, girl.